where I was born, on a farm about 8 miles east of Carthage, South Dakota, about 40 miles southeast of Huron, and lived there during the dust storm, born in December 22, and the dust storms in the mid to late 30s, early 30s. And my dad, he sold off the farm. He didn't want to go in debt. He had to get feed and seed loans, and he didn't want to go in debt, so he had an auction in, I'm not sure whether it was 32 or 33. My wife says, not my wife, my sister says 32, and I thought it was 33, but I'm pretty sure I was in the 5th or 6th grade when we moved into town in Carthage. And, that's probably too much detail, but I remember we had took a cow along to have some milk, and it was real poor times. And my dad at that time, I guess, working on WPA, or it seemed like I remember $40 a month, maybe 44 or something like that. But like I guess everybody, we didn't know we were poor. But that went on till graduated from the Carthage High School in the spring of '40, and that time it had to get a year's service in, and I must have heard about the National Guard. We didn't hear about much stuff, in Carthage. I had no plans to go to college. I had no plans, period, I guess. Had a nice girlfriend, my present wife. And so you're supposed to get a year's service in, and I was 17. I was born in December. So, and I guess you must have had to be 18 to join, and this would be in the summer or fall of '40. So I made a mistake and told them my birthday was December 21 instead of December 22, so that I was 18 in a way. Then they got my name wrong, and Bob Christensen, a guy from Fedora, for some reason we signed up with him. Whether we went to but there was two guys, Richard Hicks and myself, that graduated at the same time, and we both lived in the town of Carthage, and so we went, I suppose, to Madison and signed up with Company A of the 109th Engineers. And Bob Christensen, he got my name backwards, of course. My real name is Clair Richard Brich, and he had it Richard Clair Brich. So I was Richard Brich all during the war, and wrong birthday, of course. And after I got out, I tried to get my name straight and my birthday. The birthday was no problem. I got that right for Social Security and for everything. But the name, I corresponded with the Army, not right away, let's say after 25 years later, maybe longer. I'd started a series of letters trying to get my names changed. And you wouldn't hear back for months, but anyway, I finally gave up.
Did you get mobilized then, and with what?
February 10th.
February 10th?
Yeah.
You'd only been in about a few months then, hadn't you?
Well, I hadn't even been to a meeting. So that's really that armory in Madison was the first experience we had. Yeah. Apparently, we signed up, but we didn't become active or whatever it is.
And you went on, you went on from there.
Yeah. Then I won't bother going into that. I mean, Cliff did into Camp Claiborne, and I remember one thing about Camp Claiborne. We had a real good volleyball. Of course, it was training, but and all that. But we had a real good volleyball team in A Company. We could maybe I'm remembering the good part, but I think we could beat virtually everybody in the division. And if there was a movie going to be on that night, we'd beat them quicker. But along came Pearl Harbor on Sunday, December 7th, my girlfriend was down there. Bea was down there. She was working in Alexandria. And I remember we were in a park on Sunday, December 7th, when Pearl Harbor happened. And I don't think I even began to appreciate what that was going to lead to as far as us folks. But in a very short time, we were on a train headed to New York, New Jersey, someplace. It was at Fort Dix. And after that, we were on a troop ship in very early January of '42. And our company was on the Chateau Theory. I don't know, being that we were the first troop headed to the British Isles. The submarines were real active along the east coast, Atlantic coast. So I guess that's the reason we took the North Atlantic route. And it was rougher than the devil. The first time I'd ever seen an ocean, and I couldn't believe the size of the waves. I was reading in a book here, some of the guys that had written their experience said the waves were as tall as 10-story buildings in New York, but they were I described them as mountains. It was just unbelievable. The little destroyer escorts would disappear down below a wave, and how they lived, I don't know. I was so sick, I didn't care. But anyway, this was a real old boat. And even on rough waves, I can remember that the rear end of the boat ship would come out of the water, and you could hear the propeller rev up as it got out of the water. But I stayed up on deck virtually all the time. The first day I was down, I looked down in the hold, and it was a mess down there. People so sick, and somebody they'd bring me up food once in a while up on top of it. But that was the least of my worries, was eating. And when I smoked, of course, I didn't smoke. I couldn't smoke. I could have, but I didn't. I was too sick. I didn't smoke till we got to North Ireland. Remember of Ireland, I won't go in much detail, but it was a good. We were there from January till maybe October, something like that, and very green, very, very pleasant duty. Then we took off for North Africa. Remember going through the Straits of Gibraltar. You know, from school you heard about Gibraltar, so I looked forward to that, and the big rock or something. And I don't even remember whether it was night or day. But it must have been kind of night, because the same, like Tangiers, I think, is on the African coast of and I believe the lights were on in Tangiers, which was, you know, kind of different. We were just beginning to get used to exposed to blackout conditions.